You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump's crushing failures laid the groundwork for this massive con, based on an article by John Casey. Trump's casino is the state itself. Donald Trump reportedly made more than $2 billion after returning to the White House in January 2025. And the important fact is not a number. It is the structures. The same man who once failed at casinos in Atlantic City is now positioned inside a government that no longer functions as a restraint on his wealth extraction. The money is the evidence. The power arrangement is the story. The house is Trump. The article gets one thing exactly right. This is not a normal con. In a normal con, the grifter has to evade the system. Trump did something worse and more durable. He made the system part of the operation. The White House is not a neutral venue here. It is the machine that gives him leverage, access, protection, and the appearance of legitimacy. He is not merely profiting while in office. He is monetizing office itself. That is the core abuse, public power converted into private revenue. Everyone who was supposed to stop him stepped back. The article names the enablers plainly a Republican Congress, a Justice Department under his thumb, an IRS barred from auditing him, and regulatory agencies now effectively controlled by Trump after a Supreme Court ruling. That is the real chain of responsibility. This is not confusion. It is institutional surrender. The people and bodies meant to investigate, audit, and constrain him are either captured, neutered, or waiting for permission from the very person they are supposed to police. If no one is chasing the thief, the theft is already administrative fact. The misdirection is the point. The casino metaphor is useful only if it stays honest. The article uses it to show that Trump is not gambling against the house. It is the house. He sets the odds, controls the surveillance, and keeps the winnings. That matters because so much political coverage still treats this kind of abuse as spectacle, personality, or noise. It is none of those things. It is organized self-dealing. It is not controversial when a president can enrich himself through crypto tokens and meme coins carrying his name, while the institutions that should intervene stand down. Calling that a mess or a Sarger softens what is, in plain terms, a looting structure. The press has the receipts. Power has the immunity. The article notes that reporters, watchdogs, and congressional committees have the evidence. That is not a small detail. It means the failure is no longer informational. The facts are not missing. The enforcement is that should sharpen the political diagnosis. A democracy can survive argument. It cannot survive a ruling class that treats enforcement as optional for the most dangerous actor in the system. The problem is not that nobody knows. The problem is that too many of the people with authority had chosen not to know in a way that would force action. Checkers was a defense. This is a shakedown. The Nixon comparison is telling because it exposes the moral collapse. Nixon went on television to defend a dog. Trump uses the presidency as a revenue engine. One is embarrassing. The other is institutionalized corruption with a flag draped over it. The gap is not just about personal character. It is about what the office has been allowed to become. A presidency that can be used to funnel wealth upward while its own overseers decline to act is not a malfunction. It is a captured state performing legitimacy for a robbery already in progress. The systemic error. The larger pattern is simple. When democracy loses its enforcement mechanisms, authoritarian corruption stops looking exceptional and starts looking profitable. Trump is not beating the system from outside it. He is proving that the system can be made to protect the man stripping it for parts. That is the political lesson here. Not that one grifter got lucky. That power, without consequences, is a business model. And too much of the American state is now arranged to let the business model run uninterrupted. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar Story for today's article with the automated voice of Norman. Thanks for listening.